How's everybody doing today? So I'm going to talk about what I'd like to call Groundhog Day. If any of you have seen that movie, it's where this man goes to this town where they celebrate an old tradition where they bring out their groundhog to see if he can see a shadow. But when he ends up going to this town, he keeps reliving the same day over and over again. It's a Bill Murray movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's not bad. But anyways, you may feel like that, where you're waking up and you're doing the same thing over and over again. The very mundane, I wake up, I drink some coffee, I get dressed, go to work, I'm driving in traffic to get to work every day. I get to work, you check your emails, or you start prepping for whatever it is that you do at your job. And a lot of times, like if it's a labor job, you're doing a lot of prep and a lot of labor, like right off in the morning, like the most of it in the morning when you're not really even really ready to do it. Like your body's not warmed up, your blood flow's not happening, unless you woke up early. Maybe you're hungry because you skipped breakfast. And then you're dealing with the same conversations over and over again with your peers, your coworkers. One thing I don't like about the workplace environment, and I tried to break this cycle before, and it actually had negative repercussions. And what I did was I never really talked shop that much. When people are at work, people are really cautious about not talking about stuff that's outside of shop. So it's always shop talk when you're at work. And if you're not talking about that, if they may feel it's unprofessional or you're going outside the boundaries of the workplace, and you're really not making a connection. You're not making really real connections with the people that you work with. This happened to me several times. Even in the Army, I made people feel so uncomfortable when I was like, we sat down and got ready for our jobs, whatever we're doing that day. We load the ammo and the weapons, get the trucks ready, go out and patrol. And I'm like, hey, so-and-so, what's your hobbies? What do you like to read? Are you interested in are you interested in spirituality? You're religious? And you start talking about these things, and you're talking about like the world and culture and all this stuff. And a lot of times they get uncomfortable. And over time I started realizing it's like people didn't want to talk outside of shop, because a lot of times when you're talking about that stuff, some sort of depression sets in, because they're realizing that they're actually in a not very good existence. And it took me a while to figure this out, because I was the one always willing to, hey, what's your hobbies? What do you like to do? What are your aspirations in life and stuff like that? They didn't want to talk about that in the Army. They're like, oh, their goal is to get promoted in the Army. Well, it's like, that's not your life. The military is a very short segment of your life. I mean, yeah, some guys and girls retire after 20 years. They make it a whole career. But generally, 90% of the people in the military don't do 20 years. They're usually out before that time, and it's usually less than 10 years. So you're talking about these things, and it's an uncomfortable place that you don't want to go into, because you're actually bringing reality into their life, and then that reality hits them or sets in, and it's an uncomfortable place to be. And when you go to your work every day, it is Groundhog Day. You're dealing with the same people, the same supervisors, you're having the same conversations. They're like, what can we do to change the company? You give them advice, they don't take it, nothing changes, some things get worse. And this is part of the old system, and system is a vicious cycle. It is designed to be Groundhog Day. So they only give you enough money to be able to force you, you have to go to your job, because you're going to get behind on your bills. Like they only give you enough money to pay for that, that 1 month at a time deal for most people. Some people that are more abundant than others, and if they have more money, then obviously they could go for a couple of years without working because they have enough in their bank account. But the majority of people don't. If you don't go to your job, you won't pay your bills next month. And they don't have more than 30 days of storage, so to speak, of funds to be able to live beyond that. And the system is set up that way for you to be in a survival mode. You don't want to be in survival mode. You don't want to be in Groundhog Day. You want to be in abundance life. You want to have serendipity and bring in abundance and all that kind of stuff. And the way to do that is to practice spirituality. If you're not practicing spirituality, you will be stuck in Groundhog Day. Hold on a second. Brianna, I'm doing a video, okay?
Okay.
1 second. I'll be outside in 1 second.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm back. She's only 3, so, and you've seen her in the previous video. She's cute. She likes to talk a lot, so she came up to me while I'm making my video. But anyways, you'll be stuck in Groundhog Day, and then you'll wake up every day and realize that you can't get out of it. And in the movie, he was stuck in it. It didn't show it in the movie, but behind the scenes, or the writer or the director, I don't remember who said it, but he was stuck in that reality for 35 years. He lived the same day over and over again for 35 years, recycled. But that movie's very much a our reality that we actually live with. It's not exactly the same. I mean, we're not it's not a complete repeat, but it's very similar, right? So that vicious cycle, that always been in survival mode. When you're in survival mode, it's based on fear and anxiety, and that's where they want to hold you in your vibration. When you start raising your vibration up, you're out of that groundhog cycle, and you're living in the world of creation and not the world of suffering, so to speak. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. When it comes to spirituality, get out of your cycle, start doing your practicing of your metaphysical practices, and maybe you and I and everyone else can get out of Groundhog Day and thrive in this wonderful life that we're supposed to be living in. As always, I greatly appreciate you guys watching my videos, and have a nice day.